Hello, travelers. I am Paul, and this is Travels with PMB. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you are returning, welcome back to my channel. What do I focus on with this channel? I focus on all things travel, whether it be a cruise, all inclusive resorts, restaurant reviews, concerts, and so much more. Also, I am a travel advisor. And so if you are looking for that dream vacation, make sure you check me out by emailing bookwithpmb@gmail.com. So we are getting ready to start the live, and it starts in Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope you had a great Monday and an even greater week. Thank you all for those individuals who wished me well. I was feeling under the weather. I had to cancel last week's live, and thank you for all of the well wishes. I'm still not 100%, but better than I was, and I am grateful for that. And so tonight I have a great guest from Sandals, and we're going to talk about all things Sandals. And what I need you to do, I need you to share this live. Come ready with your questions. If you've always heard about Sandals and its resorts, if you've always wanted to know more about it, whether you are a travel agent, travel advisor, YouTuber, or whether you're just somebody who loves to book great vacations, maybe you want to level up this coming year and want to do something a little bit of more luxury than you've done before, then this is the video for you tonight. And so before I bring, let's see who is in the chat. And I'm going to bring him up and we're going to talk about Sandals. And so thank you, Shay, for coming, and thank you for being a travel member. Yes, I'm feeling a little better. I say 90% I am feeling better. Strong Raid, yes, from Bill Armstrong. He's doing his lives now on Monday. So thank you, and Phil, for coming through. Shay's saying Strong Raid. TJ, thank you for coming through tonight. Um, and I will be having something with TJ coming up next week. So be on the lookout for that. We're saying hi to Ann Phil. TJ saying hi to everybody. Thank you so much, Carnival Cruise Addicts. Also, thank you for being a travel member, for coming in tonight. I hope all is well. Hope you're feeling better, because I know that you were feeling sick as well as Chris. We're saying hi to each other. We're saying hi to Liz, Strong Ray. Thank you, Keisha, for coming on, coming from Bills and deciding to come over here. Thank you, Key, for coming on. Kiki's here, Team Reese Travels. And she recently went to Sandals recently, and it blew her mind. If you've seen any of that content on her channel, so she has gone there. She's reviewed some of the property and the rooms, and she just enjoyed it. And so that's a great resource also. So we're saying hi, Scotty. Thank you for coming through. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, Keisha. We're saying hi to the chat. Scott is saying hi to Liz, to Shay, to TJ. So we're just going through this. Paul, he's saying hi to me. How you doing? Embarkation Nation, thank you for coming through today. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to see who else is here before I bring up my guests. We're saying hi to each other. Make sure you have your questions ready to go. Thank you, Linda, for coming through. Thank you for coming tonight. Oh, she loves sandals. Yes. We have people that love sandals. Glad you're feeling better. Thank you so much. We're saying hi to each other. I think I am. I'm caught up. Did I miss anybody? I think I said hi to everybody. Um, so let us go on, and I'm going to bring up my guest. His name is Baez. He is a business development manager for Sandals, and I'm going to bring him up to the stage. Make sure have your questions ready so we can talk about Sandals. And here he is now coming up to the stage. Here we go. I think you're muted.
Good.
How you doing, Lewis?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me on this evening. So excited to talk to you about everything we got going on.
It is good. Thank you. I'm glad you were available so that you could come on tonight. And so I already told them ask questions away. He's here for this hour. So if you have any questions, feel free and just leave it in the comments so that he can answer your questions. And if you have questions afterwards, just shoot me an email at bookwithpmb@gmail.com, and so that if I don't know it specifically, I will just get the question from him as well. So tell us about yourself and what do you do for Sandals Resorts?
For sure. So I actually am the national account manager for Sandals and Beaches Resorts. I work with travel agencies and travel agents just like yourself. You and I have been working together since one of the last events for IntelliTravel, and I just pretty much help you and support you on growing your business and letting you know what your clients can expect when going to Sandals and Beaches Resorts.
Awesome. And he was very helpful. I saw him at a as he said, as an IntelliTravel event, and we was able to connect. And he was just such a wealth of information. And it's good to be able to have people around you that you could just kind of like feed off on, get information, and be helpful when you're trying to find your way around this world and trying to get information from people. And so, how are the recovery efforts? Let's deal with that. We know Jamaica had a devastating um, hurricane. A lot of properties were affected. There may be some individuals who are desiring to go to Jamaica and not sure when they should go. Some resorts, for example, have had one date when the resorts would open, and all of a sudden they changed the date to make it a later date. Maybe possibly because maybe they're taking this opportunity to do better renovations and make it better than ever before. So, how are the recovery efforts going for Sandals Resorts in Jamaica? And are they all up and coming? Are they up running? Are some of them running? Some of them are running not yet. Or when is it going to come through and come forward?
For sure. So yes, it was definitely a big situation we had with the Hurricane Melissa. But as your family, I believe, is Jamaican as well, right?
Yes.
And there's nothing like
Yes.
Jamaican resilience. The Jamaican staff that we had down there was just
Yes.
ready to take on anything. We had actual guests in our resorts, and all were accounted for. All were taken care of really, really well. We definitely want to stress on how important it was to have everyone there and our staff that was ready to help out. I think a lot of our general managers and staff members actually became famous on TikTok because of how well everything was handled. When everything did
Wow.
happen, we were closed for the majority of October and November. And then 5 of our 8 resorts opened December 6th. And if you have clients that are ready to go, we are ready to have them. We are have we're ready with open arms. We have our resorts ready to serve and for them to enjoy themselves. Because again, there's nothing like having hospitality in Jamaica and just being there, right? Just being in that mother nature where so many great things are. Just our beautiful resort, Sandals, Duns River,
Yes.
and Ocho Rios. It's just one of my favorites. It's my one of my top five resorts in the whole brand, and it's right next to Duns River Falls. So if you want to do an excursion, you can leave the resort safe and sound because we have our transfers that's already included, and it will take you to the excursion that you would like. Like I said, we have so many things, so many opportunities to do in Jamaica and our resorts as well. I mean, we have 9 islands you can visit and also enjoy. So really, really excited about that too.
So which ones are like still like pending and like still on hold just in case people were looking at specific ones? Because sometimes people have their favorites, they've been there before, they want to go back to it. So which are the
For
ones that
sure.
kind of like, okay, we may be holding off for this one for now.
So when Hurricane Melissa did impact Jamaica, it did come from the southeast part of the island, and that affected more of the south, coast part of
Yeah.
the resorts. So we did have our Sandals South Coast. That is going to be, and then once that happened, it went straight through the northern part also. So our Montego
Yeah.
Bay resorts also were affected. So our Sandals Montego Bay, Sandals Royal Caribbean, and our Sandals South Coast will be opening May 30th of 2026. So, like I said earlier, we're going to be having a lot of great renovations and updates going on when it comes to those resorts, and I'm so excited for everyone to come. I'm excited for you to check it out, man, because you're definitely
Yes.
it's time for you to check it out too.
I would love to check out the sandals.
Yeah.
Yes, I really do.
For sure. For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely some time to get you down there, and that way you can tell your clients, what we got going on, and because we have so many great deals and great opportunities for, going on vacation, doing maybe a bachelorette party or bachelor party, maybe golfing questions, or maybe golfing trips, or whatever the case is, we have
Yes.
opportunities for everyone.
Weddings.
Exactly, right. Weddings, maybe if somebody's planning on popping the big question. We have engagement proposal packages that you want to check. Hey, baby moons. We could do baby moons as well. We like I said earlier, we have golfing, we have scuba diving, we have pickleball. That's all included. So if you have maybe your golfing buddies, maybe a golfing trip, if you want to do that in Sandals Ocho Rios in Jamaica, or maybe one of our resorts in St. Lucia, where you can also golf
Mhm.
unlimited. It's all included, which that's the best part of having an all inclusive resort. Everything's included. There's really no limitations on where you're at. You don't need a wristband or a necklace that says you're part of this category. You have access to the whole
Mm.
resort. You have access to all restaurants and all bars, which is something really, really great.
I love that. Okay, we're gonna table that about the wristbands and stuff. So let's see,
Yeah,
because some people came in the chat. I'm just trying to say hi, and then make sure you come with your questions. Hello everybody in
sure.
chat. Thank you Tanya for coming through. Thank you Bill for coming through and rating this chat. Thank you so much. Let's see everybody else. Make sure you come with your questions. Oh, question. Here goes a question. Good.
Okay.
Question. How do you ease the minds of people who are concerned their experience after the reopening? Because I've had that question, and I'll tell you, and I'm glad you said that, won't be the same as it would have been pre-Hurricane Melissa. And I'll tell you this, I had book clients for a resort, and some of the things were said that they felt like the experience wouldn't be the same because maybe it was too soon to reopen up. And even if the resort was good, that maybe the things around it would be, not the same. And so it's her
Right.
question: how do you ease the minds of people or concerned the experience after the reopening won't be the same as it would have been pre-Hurricane Melissa? So how would we tell clients, or how people who are interested in booking a sandals on Jamaica would be like, okay, all right, I'm gonna do it. There, as you said, everything's gonna be ready by May. I'm going to go down there and be able to have a great vacation, regardless of what the horrible things that happened with Melissa.
Definitely. I mean, like I said, we have 5 of our resorts that open December 6th. and we have heard nothing but positive feedback when it came back to the reopenings. We've had experiences every night. We've had everything that a client would want to go on their vacation for has been granted. I mean, just one some of the things to think about. When you are going somewhere, just got to think about and be patient when you are going to these places, because at the end of the day, even if
Mm,
before going to Jamaica, you're going to somewhere where, um, you know, you may be spoiled like me, where I live in Miami, Florida, where I have 24-hour air conditioning everywhere, right? You have to also think about that into consideration, where not everywhere is going to have 24-hour air conditioning. You're going to be going some places that they may have fans, instead of air conditioning, right? So just got to think about that, put everything into perspective, and just got to enjoy with what you're going with, right? I mean, that's the important part. When you're going to go to vacation, you're going to have that peace of mind where you're just going to be stress free. And then also, you're also going to be looking out for the people in Jamaica that's going through it, right? From the moment you land in the island, you're going to be giving a tip to the person that's giving your bags into the transfer, right? And that tip is going to go a long way, because you're helping that person with their family that's on there, that's going to be
yeah,
going on, doing that on a daily basis. So Jamaica hospitality is needed, right? Jamaica is a key place to go to a vacation, because you want to enjoy that, because you want to hear Bob Marley while you're going to the airport,
yeah.
because you want to hear the sound of the wave crashes while you're in the beach. That's what Jamaica's about, and that's what Jamaican people are about. They're not gonna hold back and say no, because that's what they want you to enjoy, their island while you're on their time.
And I think that another thing is, I think these resorts are not playing, especially because it is detrimental to their name. So if they felt like they were not ready, they would not open back up. And I
A
think
thousand
especially
percent.
Sandals, the more luxury you have, that they would not open up if they felt like they weren't 100% ready to be able to deliver the quality of service, the food, the experience that they're known for. And so I think
A
that's
thousand percent.
encouragement, because it's like, yeah, we need a little bit more time till May. Like some, and as he said, some already were opened up and they're having great experiences. And then those that
Yeah,
are going to open in May is like, yeah, we need a little bit more time. And when that opens, is going to be phenomenal, and people are still going to have a great experience as well. Thank you so much, Kiki, for that
definitely.
question. That was a
Great
great question.
question. Yes, thank you
Let me
so
see.
much.
Hi, Danny. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, that was a great
Mm.
question. Let me see if anybody else has a question. We're saying hi. Hey, Edna. Thank you for coming through. Let me see. Okay, no more of the questions. Okay, right now. Okay, make sure you have your questions ready, because we're going to answer them. Why should someone consider choosing sandals for their next land-based vacation? What is it that Sandals has over, and I'm not going to name other names, but because I'm not going to compare here. But what is it that Sandals brings to the table? What is it that that they're looking at other resorts and they're like, oh, when they look at Sandals, like, okay, what is it that gives it that extra oomph to say, like, okay,
Right.
I got to do Sandals. And by the way, the clients that has booked sandal with me loves it. They love their experience in the past. I've booked somebody who did sandals in Curacao. They loved it for their anniversary. They just loved the service. They loved the food. They just loved the entertainment. They just loved it. And so people who I've heard book sandals in the past, I haven't really heard any complaints. Not one complaint to say, "Oh, this could have been
Yeah.
better." They probably had a preference in the place they went, but
Right.
maybe one place they may have preferred more than the other, but nothing in terms of the experience of it all. So, what would should somebody consider? Why should somebody consider choosing sandals for their next land-based vacation, for their next all-inclusive experience? Why sandals?
It's pretty much about a quality of vacation that you want to experience, right? If you want to go for you know an anniversary weekend, if you want to go for a bachelorette party, it's all about what you really want to do, right? And where you want to go, like which island you want to go, because we have so many islands, we have so many resorts.
Mhm.
Even though they all have just the name Sandals on it, they're all different and unique on its own. So if you go to Sandals St. Lucia, we have three resorts there that you can actually hop
Mhm.
over because we have the transfers that they're included, and you can hop over from resort to resort, and you can enjoy
Mm.
every aspect of the resort. Try the restaurants there. If you actually really think about it, with those three resorts, you have 27 restaurants you can try between the three resorts. If you're there for 4 or 5 days, we
Mm.
challenge you to try to do all those 27 resorts, 27 restaurants in that 4 or 5 days, right? So you get to have the opportunity of
That's
trying
awesome.
different things and trying different opportunities while you're on island. Um, One of the cool things about just being on the land or all inclusive vacation is the ability of just, if you want to have your steak dinner one night, if you want to have your seafood dinner the other night, those are all options that you have, and the only thing you have to have is just maybe a reservation. But you can be rest assured to leave your wallet in the lock in the room, and you should be good to go.
So I love that. So for the restaurants, I love the fact that because sometimes people have those kind of like, okay, you have resorts next to each other, but there's limited in terms of what you can do, right? Maybe you can't drink, or maybe you could only eat certain places. But for Sandals, you're saying that if there's hotels right near each other, you have ability to eat at all of the restaurants, to drink as much as you want, as long as you're a part of the of that. That is so phenomenal. As long as you're close to one of those resorts. Now, is restaurants something you reserve, or is it all walking? Is it something that you would do through an app? Like, how does that process work when it comes to restaurants? Do somebody say, "Okay, I want to work. I would just want to go here," and then just you just walk in? So how does that work? Do you have to your name down the night before? Like, do you have to call in? Do you have so how does the work does it work when it comes to restaurants?
So I love that you put all that in perspective because all of that is all in one. It depends on the restaurant. We have our most famous and iconic one called Butch's Steakhouse, which you would need a reservation for. But the cool thing about it is that you can actually make a
Hmm.
reservation for the restaurant that you want 2 weeks prior to your arrival on the Sandals app. So you can grab your Sandals app, your booking number, put that in,
Hmm.
and you can see what restaurants available for the time that you're there for. So if you're there for 4, 5 nights, 1 week, 2 weeks, you can see all the reservations. You can sign up for them, and then once you're there, you already know that Thursday night is our steak dinner night, where we're going to be enjoying it. And then
That's
maybe
good.
if you want to go pop over to sushi, get a little appetizer before that, get yourself some sushi, then go to steakhouse, then go to the Cafe de Paris to finish off with the dessert at night because it's all inclusive. So why not, right? And then if you want, right after that dessert, you go and get your martini espresso. You get yourself a nice little drink before a nightcap, and then you're ready to go for the rest of the night while you're watching either a pyro show or you're watching an opera show, or maybe if you're in San Luis Ochi and you're in the Rabbit Hole, which is one of our speakeasies that we have there, and you can watch one of our amazing talented artists there while you're drinking your espresso martini, which is one of the best places you can actually have one at.
It sounds amazing. What about so how do you then keep track of people? Because so a lot of other resorts they do the wristband, or you said the
Right.
necklace. So how do you
Hmm.
kind of like keep track of that, like people being on in and out, who's there, who is, what have you? Like, how is it that you don't need that, whereas other resorts seem like they need to have that to identify somebody as being on the resort as a person, that just booked
I
for their
guess. Yeah.
vacation there. So
Yeah.
how do you all get around that? Yeah.
So once you're on the resort, you're pretty much, you're protected by security guards at the front of the resort. We have posts out all throughout the resort, so we have security knowing who's coming in and out. And that's kind of the beauty about Sandals. I mean, we own all of our lands, so we have the ability of having security posts from here and
Hmm.
there, and then we know who's coming in and out of our areas. So that's really the beauty of that. And like I said, there's no wristband, no necklace that says you're in this category, you're in that category, so you're only limited to this. We pretty much just keep up with it with just like naming, numbering our guests that come in and out of restaurants and in and out of the bars, and we pretty much just know how many people we serve that day that way.
And so you said keep your wallet in the room.
Yep.
So, is there any uptrade cabanas? Is there any upcharge that somebody would have to say, okay, I would like to reserve this, or I know, sure, like if you're having an event and maybe you want to reserve a room with that, but like as just I just want to come to vacation and I see a cabana. Can I go on that cabana or do I have to reserve it? Do I have to? Is it additional money? Like, is there anything on the menu, like a certain type called a steak, that may be an additional price that they would charge to the room? Is room service completely free? Is everything on the room service completely free, or is there upcharge something on the room service? So, like, is do I really? I can I really leave my wallet in the room for everything?
You totally could. I mean, it's, if you do have that, if you're on that vacation where you do want to get a nice bottle of wine or champagne, we can easily just put that to the room, because once you check in, we're going to have a room on file for you, a card on file for you.
Okay.
So you'll be able to just easily say, "Hey, I'm
Mm,
in room 322. I would like a nice bottle of Dom Perignon because I'm on my anniversary. I'm celebrating my birthday, whatever the case is. We'll bill it
okay.
right to your room." And then when it comes to things like that, for sure, when you go to our steakhouse, all of the steak is included. There's no separate menu where it says this is an
Mm,
upcharge. There's nothing. There's nothing that says the lobster tail is an upcharge. All that is included. Room service, as long as you have your club or your butler, you'll be all set. Especially if you have your butler, you have someone that has a cell phone with them that pretty much keeps in contact with you, lets you know what to expect, or if you want, if you don't want to leave your butler, your bungalow, your villa, whatever the case is, all you got to do is just text your butler saying, "Hey, I would like this menu. I would like this dish from this restaurant," and they'll go ahead and deliver it to you. So there's something. It's not something that you have to wait for, or have to get charged extra for. All that will be included, and then they'll take all of your favorite drinks, all your favorite meals, and they'll set it up right for you in your room. I mean, the butlers that are there are amazing. But one cool thing is that when it comes to the butlers, everything's included. So you don't have to worry about, you know, when it comes to tipping anyone at the bars or anyone at the restaurants, that's also included in your pricing. So
mhm,
that's something else you can leave your wallet
mhm.
at in your room as well.
So I have a question, more than one question actually, Lewis. So
Perfect.
Kiki says, "Is sandals strictly for couples? Seems like sandals was marketed that way at one point, but me getting away from that."
Great question. It is.
It's
It
probably a
was.
little delay. Yeah.
In 1981, Sandals was established as an adult only, couples only resort. At that time, there was no couples only resort where you can go with your couple, celebrate your anniversaries. Maybe you want to reconnect and rekindle the love, whatever the case is. We didn't have that at that time, so we were one of the first ones to get that built in 1981. And then what a lot of people nowadays, we are getting those couples that just want to travel with their friends. Maybe there's couples that don't have, maybe there's friends that are not in that doesn't have a significant other. They want to travel with their friends in a group. We are allowing those exceptions where if you do have a group going at Sandals, maybe a bachelorette party, maybe a bachelor party, maybe a golfing trip, maybe a scuba diving trip. If you have some couples mixed with your singles in there, we can let that happen. Just keep in mind we do have king beds only. So if you are getting a room to share, there's only king beds. We may have a rolly bed for as an exception to make for a request, and we can maybe make that happen for you as well.
So I saw somebody, I one of the clients I said went to Corsair, and they said that they saw some solo people, so maybe not with a group. So it seems like as
Mhm.
long as you're willing to pay the price, they'll allow you to come on even as a solo individual, right?
Again, it's just depending on the
To come onto
exceptions there.
sandals.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's another
Hmm.
question. I think we may have been answered. Sandals is adults only or kid friendly? It is adults only. Yeah,
Correct.
it is adults only. We do have another one. We do have another one that's underneath the sandals umbrella that is kid friendly and family friendly,
That is correct. It's called our Beaches Resort.
which is beaches.
Mhm.
So what should somebody consider? Okay, so what are some of the current deals that's going out now? So as we said, why should somebody consider their sandals? So what is kind of the current deals that's going on right now for somebody who could take advantage of it, probably going into the new year or something of that nature?
Right now, we are currently having a holiday deal where you get up to $1,000 off. Plus, you'll get some resort credits with that, and also you'll get up to one night off. So, really, once you start going your 3, your 5 nights, and your 7 nights, is where you're going to start seeing your discounts. So, on your fifth night, you're actually going to get a resort credit added on to that. And then what you can also do is we have our 777 deal, which is a weekly deal that gets updated every Wednesday. So if you have a client that maybe wants to do a bungalow or villa, that maybe wants to do an over the water villa or something like that, those get on discounts, and sometimes they go from 22,000 down to 10,000, 15,000, depending on how many nights and how many you go for. So the 777 deal is a great way to keep your promotions going and keep seeing what other resorts are available because it changes on a weekly basis. And we also have our last minute travel deals. So last minute travel deals is great because if you're going for 3 or 4 nights, you you only and you only you and you we actually give you a night free for fourth and fifth night. So if you actually want to travel for 4 and 5 nights, you only pay for 3 or 4 nights, which that's the really cool thing about the last minute travel with Sandals or Beaches.
So, next question for me: what do you feel land-based vacations may offer over cruises? I personally, and a lot of people in this community, may skew more to cruises. When I first started out doing, going on vacations, it was all-inclusive resorts, and then I also included cruises, and then I'll go back and forth. So, what do you feel that maybe gives sometimes land-based vacations a little edge over just cruising?
I think
For
that'll
some
be
people who
pretty much.
feel like they've never done it, they only like cruises.
Yeah, I mean, one of the cool things about going on all-inclusive land resorts is not only you have everything inclusive, like we were talking about, food-wise, drink-wise, and all that great stuff, but also you get to learn more about the culture of the island that you're visiting. Don't get me wrong; when you are going on cruises, you
Mm,
do have an ability to learn a little bit something about the culture of the island or get a little bit of something while you're on the port, but you're only there for no more than 5 hours when you're on a cruise, right? The difference about that is that when you're on the land, you get to
mm.
choose the day you want to go off island, off the resort, and have the day to explore, see what it is to go downtown Jamaica, see what it is to go downtown Curacao, and just explore and see what how the culture is. If you didn't know, Curacao is actually one of my favorite resorts that we have. But one cool thing about Curacao Island is that it's a part of the
Really?
ABC Islands. It's 90 miles away from Venezuela, so you have a lot of different cultures mixed in one pot when it comes to that island. And you get to really learn that when you go off base, when you go off the resort, and get to learn more about the history that they got going on in the islands.
So, what can someone expect when on a vacation in a Sandals resort? You probably answered some of this. What is the Sandals experience like? So it can deal with the value. Also, let's deal with the value of booking sandals with the travel agent, things included. And this is the Sandals experience from the airport to the time they get into their room to like what can somebody expect from the Sandal experience from specialty restaurants, from the Wi-Fi. One of the things that people hate is lagging Wi-Fi. We're always trying to be connected to the world, even while we're on vacation. The quality of the drinks. There's some complaints that sometimes people go to resorts and the drinks are watered down or they're not the most quality. They don't feel like they're getting the best quality of drinks and the entertainment. So we have nightly entertainment. And what the quality of the nightly entertainment? People don't want to be bored, and so what is the Sandals experience? You go on certain resorts, then you're only allowed to have for free maybe non-electrical water sports. That's the only thing you could do. Or if they don't have that, then you're just kind of like relegated to just be by the pool and do pool games. And so is Sandals fun? Is it upbeat? Is it for a more mature crowd? Is it for like all ages? And so, like, I know I'm giving you a lot. So what can someone expect when on vacations on a Sandals resort, from airport to their room to being on the resort itself? What can they expect?
I mean, it just depends on what you really want to do. You know, if you want to go on vacation and you want to go and relax and not be bothered, I would definitely recommend our Sandals Royal Plantation in Ocho Rios in Jamaica. There's 74 butler rooms. It's a more sophisticated resort. It's more of a boutique resort. There's it has like a really French, um, boutique-ish to it because there's like a nice, cool, caviar bar that we have there. So it's really sophisticated. You know, it just depends on what you really want to do. Our Duns River is more upbeat. You know, you're going to have more activities to do. But the great thing about all of our resorts is that you have water sports activities included. You have non-water sports. Like I said, pickleball is a great up and coming sport. A lot of people love pickleball, and all of the equipment that we have at our resorts is USA Pickleball. So we're officially sponsored by USA Pickleball and have that ability to do that. We have tennis. Like I said earlier, we have snorkeling. We have a really cool thing called snuba, where it's a mixture of scuba diving with snorkeling, and you actually wear like this helmet, and you have like this oxygen tank that's on the top of the thing, and you go several feet. You
Oh
don't go too far,
yes.
too deep, and it's really really cool. It's not included. It's not included, but it is something you can do part of the resort where you have Island Roots, which is our sister company to do part of the excursions. You know, we do have a lot of excursions you can do, but one of my favorite excursions we have is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Is that we have a bat cave tour that you can actually do kayaking while you're going to the water in the ocean, and you go straight into this bat cave with hundreds of bats all over the place, and it's just a really really cool experience to do. And then you just kayak back and you go back to the resort all within about an hour. So you do that, and then you get back to the resort. And what the cool thing about that one is that that one's included when it comes to the resort. So it's not something you have to pay extra for. So we do have a lot of different activities so you can do a lot of resorts. Um, from the moment you get down, you get your bags, you get to your transfer, which is already included. No matter what category of rooming that you get, all of your transfers are also included, which is a huge plus. And that's a great thing for you, so that way you don't have to worry about a third party for going through another company that's going to pick you up. If you're going on Jamaica, make sure to do Club Mo Bay. That's a great way to get down there, get an express pass to get to your resorts. Leaving the resorts. Once you're on the resort, you have access to everything, all the bars, all of the restaurants, all of the activities, all of the nightly activities we have. So like I mentioned earlier, we have disco nights, we have reggae nights, we have sometimes we have just like a silent disco night
Mm.
where you have the headphones on and you listen to three or four different DJs, and it's something that you get to experience, and really really great, really fun energy. And it's a fan favorite. Everyone loves the silent disco. And once you're there, you get to enjoy the whole resort. You get to enjoy everything you want to do. Like I said, it's just pretty much what you want to do. If you want to go with your girls and have a bachelor party, bachelorette party, that's something we can do also because we want everyone to experience everything.
So okay, I got a question. I was just gonna ask my next question.
Oh,
So
nice.
so Kiki says, what sandals location would you suggest for someone who wants something similar to Punta Cana?
I mean, I would do Dunn's River in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Our Sandals Dunn's River there is beautiful. It's really, really fun. But it depends again, it depends on what type of atmosphere you're looking for. We have a cool one in Sandals, Barbados that has a bowling alley inside the Sandals Resort. And it's all included with that. What's also really cool about that bowling alley is that there's a brewery that has over 100 beers from across the Caribbean. So if you're a beer drinker, that's a really really cool place to do and to enjoy. But again, it's just what does your client want to do? Does your client want to go to Punta Cana and chill, or does your client want to go in Punta Cana and party? Because we have a little bit of something for everyone.
So let's talk about. So now we talked about. So we kind of spoke about it a little bit. So the different sandal offerings. So maybe the breakdown of the different sandals resorts. Some in terms of maybe having bungalows, some that do not, but also we talked about family friendly. So now somebody who has a family and they want to have their family, so they can't go to Sandals. And so let's talk about like maybe some of the beaches resorts where they're located and the type of offerings they have, and is it more or less the same in terms of what they offer, but now because they have children, maybe some children's things and programs that they may have in place for children as well. So so let's break down the different types of Sandals resorts, and maybe as Kiki was saying, like what they can expect in terms of like, oh, like the bungalow. Because the first time I think I saw that there was these bungalows in the water, and so everybody only thinks of it as in the Maldives. Because they always have this picture in Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you see it in the Maldives. And the first time I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, where's that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Jamaica." And so, so sometimes we're looking for things so far away, and we could find here are so closer than where you are. So kind of let's just talk about the difference between different Sandals resorts briefly, and then also now let's go into beaches and talk about the family friendly resorts.
For sure. So I love the fact that you brought up the Maldives, but you're experiencing it in Jamaica. Because why do you have to travel 24 hours away when you can only go 2.5 hours from Florida and you get yourself an over the water villa? If you want to go to St. Lucia and have an over water villa, you can have that option too. We also have the over water villa experience in Sandals, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where I've heard, I haven't been to Hawaii yet, but I've heard a lot of people compare this resort or just the island itself to Hawaii. So imagine having the Hawaii Caribbean aspect and everything that you want with the mountains in the background and just the Caribbean, and then just having this all inclusive meals and everything else like that in St. Vincent. It's definitely something really different, something really unique. And one of my favorite resorts too. So that's actually one of my top five also. So I'll definitely recommend Sandals, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines for when it comes to something different as well. Like I said, Curacao. I mean, you're going to have something different when it go to Curacao. Um, one of my favorite resorts, Sandals Antigua, is actually really unique because it's really more for like that couples resort. If you have a couple that wants to go on an anniversary or on a honeymoon, Sandals Antigua would be perfect for that. That's definitely something I would recommend. And
Mm,
even if you have a couple that wants to go to beaches, just because the beaches is a family brand doesn't mean that it's limited to just a family. The couple can go there and enjoy the Turks and Caicos water, because the beaches
mm,
in Turks and Caicos are amazing, especially if you want to go snorkeling, scuba diving, kayaking. All that is going to be included, and you'll be able to enjoy that at the beaches resorts. We also have our beaches in the Grill. So we currently have two beaches you can go to, one in Turks and Caicos and one in the Grill. The one in the Grill is right next to Sandals in the Grill. The cool thing about that is that if you go with your family and you want to go check out Sandals and just go hang out at Sandals adult resort, you have that option. You just pay $10 to get to Sandals and the Grill. You leave the kids back at beaches, and you can go and hang out at Sandals and the Grill, which is really really cool. One of my favorite things about beaches is that we also are autism friendly. So if you have anyone that's
mm,
on the spectrum, all of our staff is able to assist anyone that's on a spectrum. It doesn't matter what age you are, from age 0 to 100. We have access to helping you out. Maybe if you have the family member that wants to, maybe it's a little bit more to the reserved to themselves, we're going to understand that. We're going to work with them. We have quiet rooms, we have white rooms, and we have game
mm,
rooms. So for the family members that want to be a little bit more upbeat and have more fun, they could go to the Xbox lounge that we have there in the game room and play all the games that we have there. We have air hockey. We have all those types of games as well. Um, and then we also have the kids camp. So the kids camp, the kids can just hang out there. They have different activities on a daily basis, while the parents can go and get their massage, go to excursion, go do just maybe that rekindling moment for them while they're on vacation, because the parents deserve it too. So we have so many great things coming up with beaches. right now, we just invested $2 billion in beaches. So for the next
Uh-huh.
5 to 10 years, we're going to be seeing more beaches in Barbados, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a new one in Jamaica. We're going to have a new one in Bahamas. So that's actually one of the more exciting ones because the Bahamas is a 45-minute flight from Florida, and you're going to have a family resort, all inclusive resort that you're going to be able to enjoy right from Florida. And one of my favorite things that we have going on too is that in Turks and Caicos, we have a brand new section called Treasure Beach. And that Treasure Beach Village is set to open March 6th, 2026. That's a brand new section. It's in 100 rooms that we're adding to the resort as well.
Oh, that's amazing. So if you didn't know, there's more coming up for Grand Turks and Caicos. In terms of, I'm sorry, there's more coming for beaches in all these different places. That's amazing because there's only two currently, and so I didn't know that. Thank you, Louis, for letting me know that, and for those who
Definitely.
may want to know as well. So we have a question: do any resorts have casinos?
Unfortunately, we do not have any casinos. But if you go to the Bahamas, I believe there is a casino about maybe 15 minutes away from our Sandals Royal Bahamian. And then, you'll be able to find some other ones around there as well.
Okay, thank you, Liz, for the question. And so this was the question you kind of answered some of it. So what can we expect from Sandals in the future? So you spoke about some of the new beaches locations that are coming up. So what any other new sandals locations coming up in the near future?
As of right now, it's from what I've heard, we are working on with the Sandals resorts that we have currently. We're going to be adding onto them. We're going to be adding more rondevals, more overwater villas. We're going to be working on giving the love that the resorts need. After so much time, we're going to be upgrading a lot of the resorts. So and a lot of the room categories also. So little by little, once we get there, we'll definitely let you know when the next Sandals resort opens. But the
Okay.
beaches one is definitely going to be opening March 2026. So beaches, Turks and Caicos, really excited for all that. And one cool thing about beaches is that we have our partnership with Sesame Street. So if you were trying to go with your children, you can actually have the Sesame Street character come and do yoga in the morning. They can do a bedtime story before they go to bed. They can do breakfast in the morning with the kids. All extra costs, but those are all some things that you can expect when you go to beaches and play with Elmo, Cookie Monster. Big Bird couldn't fit through the door, so he's not invited. But you have all the other characters available there for you.
All right. So which beaches you said are coming out? You said Bahamas is going to get one.
Yep,
St. Vincent is going to get one. Barbados is going to get one. Am I missing
yep.
any of the?
And Jamaica.
Jamaica's going to get another beaches.
Yep.
Okay.
hmm
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, so in the next 5 to 10 years, I see a lot of family travel. So if that's something you wanted to look into, a lot of beaches coming up, and just giving that the family travel experience, right?
Yeah.
Because you do have a lot of other resorts that or competitors that like to focus their families, but we do things a little different when it comes to sands and beaches, and I can't wait for you guys to enjoy and experience it.
Okay, cool. So, any other questions? Because that's the end of my questions, and we're gonna do a giveaway tonight. Lewis is gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna put the email in here before I ask the question. I believe that's the email. So that is the Let me make sure that's the email address before they email the wrong place. That is the email address, and I'm gonna come up with a question. Okay, so you'd have to have been on here from probably the beginning. I'm closer to the beginning, so let's see who paid attention. Question is, there's been many resorts that was affected by Hurricane Melissa. Um, what were the how many resorts were affected that has not reopened yet, and when will those resorts reopen in 2026? So how many resorts that have not been open yet for Sandals in Jamaica. So I'm not even saying the name, just you have to know the number. And when will it be reopened in 2026? What month will it be open in 2026? So you have to have both of them. So it's hard. I'm trying to see who's going to have both. I don't got nobody that has it yet.
They don't have it yet, not yet.
I don't see it yet. No, they got partial, right? Right, Lewis?
Partial. They got partial.
There's partial. Yeah, they got it partially right.
Let's see if what about if who can answer when was Sandals first resort open? How about that one?
I think I remember that. And you said it in the passing. Oh, somebody got
Somebody did get
it. Okay, so
it.
we got it. So Carnival Cruise Addicts. So you got May and you got and you had three. Okay, so Carnival Cruise Addicts got it. Okay, shit, you got
There you go.
it.
And they got the right year too, so
Okay, so you
1981.
got the three.
Perfect.
Yeah, 1981. Okay, there you go. So
Perfect.
so we're gonna send you I'm gonna get your information and send it over to Lewis, and so he is going to send you a little care package in care of Sandals. Anything else that you would want to bring up that you haven't brought up, Lewis? And any other questions before I let him go? As I said, if you have any questions and this live goes off, just do book with PMB. If you want me to quote you a vacation for Sandals or for beaches, book with PMB at gmail.com and reach out to me. And so anything that you want to bring up before we leave?
I appreciate you having me on, Paul. This was great. Thank you so much. And I look forward to doing this again next year. We should definitely plan it out for 2026.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I have no problem. Especially with the new stuff coming up. That'd be great to talk about
Definitely.
everything that's happening. And so stay on, Lewis. I'm gonna stay on, Lewis. I'm gonna let the live screen go. But thank you so much, everybody that came on. As I said, if you have any more questions, just let me know if you have any questions about Sandals, about beaches. And so until next week, happy travels. Thank you so much for coming again. I will be on next week. So we're gonna I'm feeling a little better now. So we're gonna go back to trying to do, as long as I'm in town, a weekly live. And so has been traveling to Sandals. Oh look, my mom has been traveling to Sandals
Nice.
since the early 80s.
There
Keisha,
you
that means
go.
that you gotta go to Sandals too, or beaches. Come on, Keisha. Your,
Got to
your
keep the
mom know
cycle
what it
going.
is. I'm curious, Keisha. You got to keep it going, keep it in the family. I'm curious to know which one she loves the most. So when you get a chance, ask her which one she really loves. Carnival, great live, great meeting you, Lewis. Have a great
Thank
holiday.
you.
Have a great holiday,
Mhm.
everybody. Have a great Christmas. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Thank you. Have a great Christmas. Appreciate the information, Paul and Lewis. Great live stream. Thank you so much. Have a great Christmas. Have a great holiday this week. I will see you next week. Thank you,
Thank
everybody,
you.
for coming. And until next
Thank
time,
you so
take
much.
care. Happy
Bye bye,
travels.
Paul. Thank you again for having me.